Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you are doing well and having a great day. As you can tell, the charts are all down. If you've been paying attention to my last couple videos, anywhere within the last 2 weeks or so, you may have realized that every single bit of news that we have gotten has been positive news. Not one thing has been negative, even when it came to countries talking about regulating cryptocurrencies, etc., and ICOs, what have you. There was never anything bad. A lot of you may know how I feel about Bitcoin's being the #1 coin, or rather it being coupled to every other coin, because I'll get to it a bit later what's kind of happening with Bitcoin, but this is still very odd that there's still a massive sell-off happening right around this point. But what bothers me the most is that other coins are constantly affected by this exact same dip, simply because Bitcoin is the #1 coin and everything else has to be coupled to it. I think it's bringing down a lot of other coins, and I think it's not fair. There are a lot of other people who are also talking about this as well on their other channels or on forums, because this shouldn't be happening. If, like I said, every other coin that I've been talking about has been just great news nonstop for all these other projects, and everyone has to suffer for whatever this is happening. First up, Germany. We talked about Germany, I think Germany and France yesterday or a day or two before about what's going on with regulations. A German regulator has pretty much spoken about ICOs and how they will be seen within the country. It kind of reads how they'll do it with just about every other country. They cannot do anything to any of the other coins, and ICO seems to be the only way that they can either, kind of put a hold onto the entire game, if you will. So this is kind of what's going to happen in Germany. I'm not surprised at all. I expect the exact same thing to happen in every other country, because ICOs are the only thing that is really kind of bad in this space right now. There's not even the lack of regulation, is that how many of them are being created and how many people are being scammed out of their money. And that's not right. No one should have that happen to them, especially when they're trying to potentially invest in something that could be big in the future. Next up, the UK Treasury Committee launches inquiry into cryptocurrencies. It kind of reads the same as the other one. Countries are very confused about cryptocurrencies, while we have been in it for those who are out there who have been in it for 3 or 4 years. You kind of know what's going on. You know what mining is. You know what hash rate is. You know what blocks are. You know what a blockchain is. These people seemingly have no idea what's going on with any of this. So they're making these committees that kind of binding together to figure out exactly, volatility, money laundering, and cybercrime, because this is all they can kind of muster up every single time. They want to make sure that they are saying this because, we're trying to protect people from money laundering, and we're trying to protect people in cases of cybercrime. It's pretty much them trying to figure out why they can't regulate it or why they can't get a hold on it. But I'm glad that these committees are slowly binding together, especially around the world. I think there's some sort of meeting that's supposed to happen between the US, the UK, and I think members of the European Union to talk about cryptocurrencies as well, because they're all flabbergasted when it comes to crypto. And on that same exact note, a US lawmaker has said it is very hard to regulate cryptocurrencies. US lawmakers may be eager to regulate cryptocurrency, but they're quickly finding that it's easier said than done. I believe this is a Republican from the state of Arizona, was talking about it on TV. It's actually very hard to regulate the underlying cryptocurrency. You could actually do some regulation within the exchange mechanisms. Like I've said before, they will regulate exchanges until they figure out that autonomous exchanges are coming, assuming the exchange mechanism stayed within the US government's purview. So you could have standards at the exchange level, but the underlying concept of a distributed ledger cryptocurrency becomes very difficult to regulate. I feel like that is a typo, not regulated. This is just another step in our journey. This has to kind of happen, but not to say that it's funny that they're kind of running around not really able to understand what's going on, but it's just very they ignored it for so long, and now they're all trying to get a hold on it to seem like they are in control and they know what's going on to the public. But we know the truth. They have no idea what's happening. This is why they're hiring people from other projects to try and get them to talk about the coins, so they can kind of figure out what's going on. Next up, Bitcoin fees have gone down dramatically. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how Bitcoin fees were, I think somebody reported that they were $40. I tried sending something somewhere and it said the fees were $25, and I was like, nope. they've actually fallen to around 79 cents. Someone reported online that they had fallen to around like 56 cents, something like that for them. So this is absolutely amazing that this is finally happening, that this is finally going down. A lot of people are reporting that even with SegWit and even with the Lightning Network, there are still chances that fees could one day shoot up depending on what is happening on the network. But for now, fees are very down, and they have been for about 2 days, which is what makes this even more confusing, because this is what people who are into Bitcoin were waiting for. They were waiting for this hyper fast transaction speed. There was someone else they were showing how quick their transactions were, I believe, on the Lightning Network, and they were showing something else, and they were showing how much their fees were, and it was very, very low, and everyone was clapping, etc., etc. So the fact that this is all kind of happening now, and the price of Bitcoin is going down, especially when there's been no negative news. I've searched everywhere. I search at least 10 to 15 different websites. 3 of them I don't really care for, but I try to see what interesting or different news they may have. There's no negative news anywhere. Nothing about anything happening to the network. No hacks, no scams. The only weird thing was the entire the European Union, or rather France and Germany, talking about having a meeting about cryptocurrency, etc. That should not affect the price like this. There are tons of other countries who are also talking about this, so it's kind of odd, if you will, that this is taking place. But yeah, to continue, this is great that this is happening. I'm not sure why Bitcoin's price continues to go down, but this will be great as it goes further along, because a lot of people just haven't been using Bitcoin for the last couple of weeks, simply because because the fees have been way too high. So I don't know exactly. Nothing in this market makes sense anymore. I try to answer your questions. I try to give you like some type of insight when I respond in the comment section. No one knows what's going on right now. None of this actually makes sense. When you only have good news, typically things should go up, not the opposite way. South Korea is once again in the news again. Always. The Korean Accounting Institute is reportedly planning to categorize cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin as liquid assets in a bid to classify them in financial statements. As reported by Business Korea, the Korea Accounting Institute is in the process of creating an accounting standard for cryptocurrencies. The move underlines the rising prominence of cryptocurrencies that have firmly permeated into South Korea's society among everyday investors and adopters. This just once again goes to show they were lying. There was never going to be any type of ban. There was nothing anywhere close to that was going to happen. This all comes down to money laundering, them wanting to be able to control the exchanges. But I mean, this is good. I'm glad that we have all of this. I hope they backtrack even more. I hope they continue to give us tons of good news about exactly what's going on in the country, because I know South Korea, as you may have seen on the other charts, South Korea pretty much controls the market. They are in complete control. If you look at any of the prices and you kind of go to, where is it? Not to lag on, but this is kind of really interesting. Look at the markets and stuff like that. They usually control such a huge amount of the market when it comes to etc., etc. Sorry, I'm lagging on. I'm still a little sick. Don't judge me. I do apologize. Just trying to give you guys the news. Hopefully I'm a lot better by tomorrow. I already feel a lot better. I'm going to end the video here. Like I said, there's been no bad news. So when your friend asks you why in the world the market is going down, just kind of shrug your shoulders and say, I don't know. No one else knows either. There's been no bad news at all. Nothing negative. So who knows what's going on? Alrighty, guys. I hope you guys have a great day wherever you are, wherever you might be. Yeah, I will talk to you all soon. See you.